All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Ready, break.
58, 58, Mike.
Rock it. Check. Watch now.
On first down, McFarland. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things down.
I don't need it as much.
No, they want it more and more. They're going to be ready to go because they think that's going to happen naturally now.
On second down, McFarland. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
And it's complete to Kelsey. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
First down. Got it.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 47.
Rush in. Tighten up. Go out. Check 6 guys. Go.
They run the counter. McFarland. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Right here. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. Check three. Hey,
Check 3. 218. Jump.
58, right over.
Hey, team 6. Hit it.
Off play action. Herbert. He lets this one fly. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. John Ross, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. No gain on the play there. They're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. It'll definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10.
Leo! Hey, lock it!
36! You go take
Defense!
They'll try to run this one in. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. And his kick is good. And that will make it 10-0 here in the first. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Partner, when I was in college, we used to have these things called game maxims that we did before every game. One of them said, press the kicking game. For here's where the breaks are made. It's the area of hidden yardage. How about that return? Flipping the field, taking it past the 50, and getting things set up to start the series.
Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he'll bring this one inside the 35.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go! 50, lane.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Now Martinez from the gun on 3rd down. He completes it to Evans. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 21.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
What we got? Show Renee. Check. Crunch. Gone. Hatchet.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. Sets him up nicely. 1st and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. To Johnson again. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. David Johnson with touchdown number 8 on the year. As his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. 2nd and 6 just inside the 30. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now a handoff here to his running back. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play, to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
61, matchbox, light.
Off the play fake. Herbert. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Give him 2 yards. That sets him up 1st and goal.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping.
Go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Point after, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
An ideal beginning of the drive there is they'll get 20 and a 1st down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Strip the ball. Pilot 64, weak.
Check nickel. Watch the eye.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
65.
On 2nd down now. It's Johnson, and he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
From the gun on 3rd down, Martinez. And he's got it. Got his man on the in route. Complete. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Back to throw. Martinez. Now a loose football. The ball comes out, and the Vikings pick up the football. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, and then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On second down, McFarland. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
The first down carry here for Johnson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, where they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key to left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal, and he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Now a 10th carry for Johnson, and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. David Johnson with his second touchdown here in this first half. Then the Bears cut into that lead. The extra point up and good. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. A big play there for Minnesota. 41 yards. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase.
Touchdown, Vikings! Dante Pettis, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kissed it on the ground.
2nd and 2. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Martinez from the gun, he'll throw. Complete to Bryant. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Martinez now off the play fake. Eluding the pressure right. That's complete. It's Collins. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Here's Martinez. Off play action. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And mark him down all the way inside the Minnesota 10. It's a big-time play there for the Bears. 47 yards. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Now Johnson. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Again, it's Johnson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Got it. 52. Watch 52. 52's the mic. It's our time. It's our time, guys. It's our time. Go.
To throw is Martinez. Operating from the gun. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears get a bit closer. They go for just 1 here as it's up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think, at any moment, I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. They'll run on first down. McFarland. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
You ready? Yeah, Mike. Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense. He's coming. Ready?
They'll run it now out of the gun. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, Herbert. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 37. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. Herbert. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. On first down, McFarland fighting to stay upright inside the 10. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point splits the uprights. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They did what they had to do to start this 3rd quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead with the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that 1st touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now Martinez to throw again. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Martinez. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Martinez from the gun, he'll throw. And that will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Could not have thrown that out there any better. When the ball hit the ground, I thought it might go into the end zone the way it was angling, but perfectly jutting out at the 1.
You think maybe what we saw in practice came into play there? You know, he put those big cans down on the sideline and then angled for him and shot for him. Looks like it worked out pretty well for him, too.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll try and run with their fullback. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They knew they were going to have great field position, went all out, got a little too aggressive.
And you have to understand your angles. They're cut down when they're that backed up. You've got to be careful going after them.
So a big break. The roughing the kicker called on 4th down leads to 1st and 10. Back to throw. Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Hey, Alpha.
From the gun, Herbert. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 54 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 9. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The Bears take over first down at their own 25-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time. This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. To throw again, Martinez. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Martinez. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Trying here for Bryant, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
At the Bears' 33-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. McFarland. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellows up front in order to bring this one home.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Cut in flip. Cut in flip. You got 3.
2nd and 13. And that's going to be incomplete. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? And let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense, it's going to be a real tough one for them. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
That's big shot. Mike 52, Mike 52. Hey, watch the slip.
Martinez now throwing on 4th down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And it'll be a turnover on downs. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll run on 1st down. McFarland. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
On 3rd down, McFarland. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Got what he needed for the 1st down with a gain of 2. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 33-yard line.
Here we go. 10-2 start. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball.